toe to help stretch out. So if you've got one, you can feel free to join me. So and if you haven't got one, watch now, buy one, and then come back and come to this point and watch the video. So I'm going to try to do it real time in terms of I'm going to do a few of each area, ideally both sides, so you can actually watch it like a workout routine instead of me demonstrating one part of each body and then leaving you to it. So I hope that's helpful. So let's begin. As you can see, I've not got a mat down here at all. It's up to you. I suppose it depends on what kind of surface you are and what you can grip on. I've got carpet and I've got socks on, so that's going to be my main grip. But if you've got a smooth floor or a rug, you might find it's too slippery, or you might find it moves too quickly for you and you need a little bit more control. So see how you feel, and then you can always put your mat down to give you that bit of resistance as well. Okay, so starting off with our arms, I'm coming over onto my side. I'm going to bring the roller underneath, just past my armpit. I'm going to face the palm of my hand up towards the ceiling, and then from here I can either use my other hand and let this top hand relax into the roller, or what I could do is use my body weight and popping this further away and drawing in. So I'm leaning, coming back to the floor, and I'm coming all the way away, keeping my hand pointing up. If I find a particular bit here which feels particularly tender, I'll hold it there for a few seconds, closer to 30, a bit more than you would do if you were stretching manually, and then just rolling my hand back and forth just to turn that muscle on that point, particularly work on the triceps here mainly, just to release it a little bit more, and then I'll go back to rolling up the whole length. And you can feel a little bit of a tinging motion afterwards there if it's something you work on a lot. Again, just a reminder, I'm going up to my elbow but not including my elbow, and taking it back and forth, bringing it in a little bit, rolling it out, and almost getting my weight behind me, and I can take that and add a little bit more lever, keeping my neck nice and relaxed, bringing it closer and closer back to my armpit. Let me show you that on the other side so you can see the view from behind. Other things I was going to say regarding that is that as you're doing the exercise, they will feel particularly sore. They shouldn't be painful that you're screaming. If you've never done foam rolling before, then they are going to be a bit uncomfortable, but it should feel like a good uncomfortable. It shouldn't feel like stinging. So if it is, then obviously I would recommend stopping, but generally it should feel like someone's giving you a nice deep massage. Okay, let's do the other side. So I'm coming over, popping my arm kind of halfway in between, palm up, and I'm going to roll that out, just using my body weight. And if I want to add a little bit more in, I'm looking back with my body, but keeping my head nice and long. Find a particular bit there, roll it out a little bit more. Again, I can use my other hand, make it a little bit quicker. Up to you how intense you want it. The more you push into the roller, it's dense, it's not going to flex, the more intense it is. So when you're starting off, I would say just kind of keep the contact and keep it smooth. Don't push too hard down. There. Oh, lovely. From there, I'm going to come around to do my upper back. So from here, what I'm going to do is, keeping my feet apart, I'm going to bring this pretty much down to probably Remember what we said, we didn't want to come all the way down to our back, so I'll probably start mid-back. So roughly where is mid-back, I would say from where your bra strap goes back, roughly that distance. And you can just hang there for a second or two. A little foam rolling does involve using the rest of your body as a weight and as a lever really to help you move. So it does rely a lot on you having good upper body strength, leg strength to help you put that pressure on. Okay, so from here I'm going to bring my hands either side and I'm going to squeeze and lift my bottom. And then from here, oh, that was a big clunk there. I meant to say I did two very exciting classes yesterday, and I was so energized after. I also then ended up doing my own exercise, which I tried a HIIT workout, and I promised myself I'd have a early night and I'd go for a run instead of trying to do too much exercise last night when I should be going to bed. So I then did go for a run this morning as well. So I am particularly finding this opening me up. So you can have my hands here, take it right up to the almost the base of my neck, and then take it back. So I'm just using my legs here. I'm not even really using my arms. Keep your head in a neutral position, so I don't want to be looking up at my knees and seeing what they're doing. I want to keep my head relaxed and keep that back as neutral as possible. And oh, that feels good. Oh. Right in the shoulder blades and down. Well done. Coming up. Coming back onto our side, I'm going to come a little bit underneath the armpit this time to come up to do more of our lat dorsi, so the upper part of behind our shoulders, upper part of our back. This is also great if you bring it down a little bit towards the ribs, just if you've had any colds and things. It's quite a nice way to open up down there as well. And also if you do a lot of like abdominal work on your obliques and things like that. Okay, so quite a few, I would say a lot of it is experimenting and getting yourself in a position that you feel comfortable. Some people might find that fine and want to do a kind of like a side plank, so you're actually working your tummy at the same time as stretching the upper part. I would say make it as simple as you can. I just bring my leg in front here, rest my arm here. Again, I can roll it with my hand back and forth. Doesn't move as smoothly, so I would come in a little bit more here, and then I would lift my bottom hip and I can bring that right up to underneath my armpit, just to all the bottom of my ribs. I can lean back a little bit and I can just get that bit as it comes round the back of my back. Good. A little bit. Oh, hold it there. Add a bit of pressure, lean back, and then roll away. Particularly good if you have office. If you've been feeding and you feel particularly tight here, closer to your pecs. So again, I'm just using my elbow, lifting my hip, and I'm just rolling back and forth. Oh, that feels good. Let me do the other side. Even myself out. So onto my elbow, bringing my legs in front, just underneath the armpit. Arm a bit away, so I've got somewhere to move. I might just bring my feet in a little bit. Try not to get a cramp in your foot. And take that round. Add a little bit of a lean in. Leaning back with the body, but keep your head forward. Again, if you find a particular part that's a bit uncomfortable, a bit tender, hold it there. Breathe through it, 30 seconds. and gently relax down. Lovely. That is pretty much most of the upper part I would recommend. So from there coming on, we can go down to our lower part, which is probably the part most of us work the most, but probably the one we kind of really release properly. Now there are lots of obviously hamstring, quad stretches, calf stretches, but I think to really get in nice and deep, I think this is really the best way, apart from obviously having a really deep massage. Okay, so starting off on our bum. So we're going to come up and have a sit on the foam roller. So when it comes to our bottom, we tend to either be thinking kind of pregnancy, postnatal, kind of switched off in our bottom, and then there's a little muscle underneath our main glute muscles, which particularly works more like our known as our piriformis. So that kind of works hard. The big muscles work not so much, or don't activate as much. So it's really important for us to really stretch and open, and then build up the strength in the right area, or the activation in the right area. So here, what I'm doing, I'm perching off my tailbone. Remember, we don't really like going right on the joints. So I'm just coming off, rolling over, kind of towards halfway of my bottom, and then coming back. So if you have a particularly tender coccyx tailbone, I probably wouldn't recommend doing this in this position, but oh, that feels good. So just releasing, literally I'm just doing a very small movement. You can go on your tiptoes, I don't think you need to, of my body weight forward and back, and I can feel that rolling underneath me. If you want to make it a little bit more intense, I'll show you this way, then you can still see me on the camera. Cross your leg and then bring that up and back. And what you're doing is you're just opening and putting a stretch on the muscle as it rotates, and you're getting a little bit more opening. And as I'm doing this side, I will lean a little bit here, and then I can go a little bit further and back into that side, over my sitting bone, and this side. And coming here, using one hand. Oh, lovely. Bring that other foot in, and you can really use your body weight to push down and just get in a rhythm. There isn't really an ideal amount of how long you should do it, how often you should do it. Some people have this as their routine to do every day, especially if you're a particularly hardcore exerciser. I would generally say for an average person, like if you do it once a week, oh my god, amazing, well done you. But I would say like once a month, whole body, basically doing this workout is a great way to reset yourself. And I say that, and I say that to myself as I say that out loud, because I do recommend the foam roller to a lot of people, but I've never had it hugely a part of my personal routine, and I think it's more now that I am doing running more regularly that I would particularly find that it would probably be really helpful. So I'm going to do once a month. I think I'm going to put in the calendar the first day of the month, reminder foam roller workout, and I think, yeah, it's a good start, isn't it, really? You get it in more regularly, then brilliant. So, coming down off our bum, on the back of our legs, we have our hamstrings. So, they attach from the back of our pelvis, coming down to the back of our knees. So, there are two joint muscles working on our hips and our knees here. So, again, remember, we want to think where our knee is, and we kind of want to leave a little bit of space before and after there. So here, I'm going to lean back, I'm going to lift my legs, and I'm going to roll back and forth. Now, as I said before, you need fairly good strength in your upper body. There are different variations, so if you do find particularly these ones are not suitable, then there are different variations that you can try. So let me see if I went down onto my elbows. Yeah, if you were doing a smaller area, I would say that's fine, but fists and elbows extended would be your best bet, really, coming right to the back of the knees and all the way away. And if you had half of this length, you could just do one leg at a time, one side and then the other side, yeah, that would be my suggestion for that. But I like having a bigger one. I like the fact that I can do the whole length in one go, and again find a particular area or a few that feel particularly taut or tense. Hold it still. You can have your legs there whilst you're holding it still, pressing your legs into the roller and bring it back. So again, if you wanted to make that more intense, and probably what you see a lot of sports people doing, is using the rest of their body weight as a resistance almost. So I'm crossing my legs over, so the weight of my top leg is adding pressure onto my bottom leg, and as I go over, I'm getting a little bit more deeper work there. And crossing the other way. I'm quite happy having my legs single, no problems whatsoever. Coming off the ball, my favourite part to normally torture people, I'll come back a little bit into the camera view, the back of the calves. Most people, I would say, pretty much 95% of people that I see for massage probably don't realise how tense the back of their calves are. So when I start doing therapy on them, it particularly comes as a surprise. And so here, again, if you're quite fairly new, you want to start off, you can be really gentle and just use your hands. But actually, it's fairly easy to keep that contact here, lifting up, but you need tummy strength here, lifting your body up and rolling. Oh, baby, that is super hitting the spot there. Again, you can bring it in a little bit up towards the back of the knee and back down. Oh, talk about opening up the calf muscles there. Let's give it a little bit more there. And the great thing here you can do is if you roll your feet outwards a bit like a penguin, you can do the outside of your legs. But as you bring it away, you're getting that rotation behind. You can bring your feet in, and so you're getting the full circumference of that covered. Good. I'll bring it in a little bit. Last few here. Good, and you can hold it out. You can circle your feet. Oh, and you can really feel. Ow! There you go. I'm part of those 95 people. 9% of those people that didn't realise how tight the back of their legs were. And as I come in this position, it reminds me the other part that's not recommended foam roll is the bottom of your feet. I would say for smaller areas like your feet, a bit more on your shoulder blades and the back of your neck, the spiky massage balls are loads better and really get into the right place. I'll probably do a separate video on that, on how to use them. So no feet. Right, coming on to the front. We're almost there. You've done great. Whoa, gosh, I feel like half a new person already, so hopefully you do too. So last bit, so we're thinking the front of our legs here. So thinking of our hip flexors particularly tight, especially if you're working from home, new mum, sitting for long periods of time, you're coming here. And I'm going to come a little bit closer and bring my hands down here. And then from here, I'm going to roll it. Ooh! Amazing. I'm loving this one. If you're a runner, you're going to love it like me. Only thing I'd be careful of is try not to come too far down onto your pubic bone. So I would say make sure you stop your roller before you come up to your pelvis. You can get in a little bit more by pushing it away this way and coming towards a corner. So you've got a little bit of support, but then you're on the edge there, and you can do one side at a time. You can, let's do that bit first, bringing it down and away. As I said, for time saving, I love doing both at the same time. With this one here, if you just bring your foot out so it's on the floor, you can do a little bit more here on the inner part of your leg. Lovely. I'm going to come back to doing the outside of your leg, as that's a popular one, the ITB. So let's just do the other hip flexor on the other side. So I'm coming half of me off, keeping it in between my legs there, and using my body weight. Oh, that is amazing. And then rolling a little bit, using my hand in front, getting right into the inner part of my leg. Wow, that was intense. But oh my God, feels amazing. Right, over to the side then. So common one, and the reason why it's common is because it's so hard to exercise your ITB by itself to really make it effective. So that's why foam rolling is so great for it, apart from obviously seeing someone like myself. So here, we're going to bring the top leg in front, and we're going to walk ourselves away and down, right up to the kneecap. Oh! Oh, yes, hold it there. Give it a little wriggle back and forth. Press it down, hold it there. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And keep going. All the way up and back. Lovely, and again you can roll forward a little bit so your weight is down, get a little bit of the lateral part of our quads, or you can take it back a little bit. So if I put my arm behind me but keep my foot in front, I'm just coming a little bit further onto the ITB, but then back again to the lateral part of my quad. Ooh, amazing. Right, let's do the other side. So doing the other side here, my bottom leg is going to be nice and long. I'm going to come up to sit here. My top leg is in front, and I'm rolling that back and forth. So I'm going to take that down a little bit here. Hopefully I'm still in camera view. Just doing the other side. Boy, do I need it. Good, and I could probably take that a little bit further down to my knee and away. Oh, that's really sore. Hold it there. Give it a little wriggle back and forth over that spot, and then take it away. lean forward, and then take it back. A little bit of rotation. Ooh! Oh my goodness. Wow. Well done. Hope you found that useful. So now you hopefully know the different versions, what to do with them, how they help you. So if you did, please give me a nice big heart. God, I'm out of breath after that, but oh gosh, I do feel looser. And hopefully you'll be back for the part 2 of this series, which is where I will show you how you can actually exercise using the foam roller to build up your tummy strength and get it really tight and working efficiently, basically. Get that core working so you can use your arms and legs in a far more dynamic routine for your exercises. So yeah, see you soon.